Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation, and also welcome to a brand new week. Our teacher for this week is the Dalai Lama. As we step into a new week, we're taking a moment to look into the week ahead and be intentional about how we want to show up this week, how we want to create this week. The Dalai Lama reminds us that we can choose where we get our motivation from. What is it that we will use for motivation this week? Danae, a very good morning. It's good to see you guys again. Hello, somebody, good morning. Welcome to a brand new Monday. We can live in reaction to the things that scare us, allowing our fears to dictate the actions that we take, allowing anxiety and doubt to have us live reactively to what we don't want, or we can be inspired by the possibilities that life holds and stay focused on what we'd love to create, proactively building the life that we do desire. The Dalai Lama says, moving towards better rather than moving away from bad is an attitude of embracing life rather than rejecting it. And perhaps that's enough for today's message. That feels like a mic drop right there. I want to read that one again. He says, moving towards better rather than moving away from bad. That is an attitude of embracing life rather than rejecting it. Isn't it beautifully said? How easily do we live our life trying to avoid what we think of as bad, trying to avoid what we don't like, instead of setting our sights on what it is that we do want and moving towards that. Linda, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to a brand new week. The next thought from the Dalai Lama is, every day, think as you wake up. Today, I am fortunate to be alive. I have a precious human life. I am not going to waste it. I'm going to use all my energies to develop myself, to expand my heart out to others, to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. I'm going to have kind thoughts towards others. I'm not going to get angry or think badly about others. I'm going to benefit others as much as I can. And the last thought for today from the Dalai Lama is, just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. The point is, when I wake up in the morning, how do I use my time? The focus of today's meditation is on the first quote. Are you moving towards better, or are you always trying to run away from bad? Are you creating in fear, or are you creating in freedom? Hey Maggie, good morning. Happy Monday. Great seeing you. Here's another way to ask this question. What motivates the actions you take? Are you acting in order to avoid everything that you're scared of? Or are you recognizing the life that you can create and rising to the highest expression of who you are? Creating in fear means we are in constant resistance to life, always swimming upstream. You can turn this around. You can stop running away from and decide what it is that you're going to run toward. You are a born creator. You were manifested from the abundance that the universe is. Recognize that you have the freedom to use this abundance and create the life that you envision. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's slip away into this week together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. Continue your full body breathing on your own time. With every inhale, become aware of not just breathing in through your nose, not just filling your lungs with air, but engaging every cell in your body. Feel every cell in your body rise with every slow inhale. And as you exhale, surrender to the softness. As you let the breath go, become aware that you are engaging every cell in your body in this breath. And be reminded of the balance that your breath teaches you. Two sides of the same coin beautifully held together. Every inhale is an act of creating, rising into your powerful presence. And every exhale is an act of letting go. Becoming better at doing, and also becoming better at being. in a beautiful balance. Our breath teaches this, but nature itself teaches this. Cycles of creating and letting go exist all over the place in nature. We see it daily in a sun rising and a sun setting. We see it in tides flowing in and flowing out. We see it in seasons, in a tree giving life to a canopy of green leaves. And when it's time, letting every one of them go. Sometimes it feels like we might have the urge to hold on to what we create. But as soon as we get this, as we feel into the truth of this, every letting go, every exhale is simply making space for the next round of creating. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. And roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long Really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, really feel the air as it flows in through your nostrils. Feel the air as it touches the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see yourself standing at the start of a brand new week. See your toes sticking over the edge and see yourself ready to dive in. Take your next big breath. As we stand at the start of a brand new week, we take the opportunity to be intentional about the week ahead. When we're not being intentional, then of course there is the risk that we react to the world around us in the same old ways we have reacted before. And when we're always reacting from old programming, from an old pattern, then we also always repeat the past over and over again. Now, some of our old programming may actually serve us, but it's only when we are intentional, when we meet every moment with presence, that we get to choose. Does this old reaction serve me today? Or should I try a different response and see if the outcome might be different? So we'll look into the week ahead and be intentional about meeting every moment with presence. We'll start with what is known about the week ahead, what is already in the calendar. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, take a moment to walk through the week ahead. Walk through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and remind yourself of some of the things you want to get done this week, some of the places you need to go this week, and some of the people you need to see this week. Take your next big breath. What are you creating this week? What is it that you are giving your attention to this week? Anything that captures our attention also receives our energy. And anything that we pour our energy into becomes more present in our life. Very often, what captures our attention and drains our energy and becomes more present in our life are things that don't serve us at all. As a very simple example, giving all of our attention to everything that's wrong in the world, things that we have no agency over, that we cannot take any action on. Just scrolling through a social media feed might do that. And I'm not suggesting we shouldn't ever pick up social media, but I am suggesting we become very clear about what captures our attention. What has been capturing your attention recently? Has it served you to give so much of your energy to this thing or these things? And as we stand at the start of a brand new week, could you perhaps make a decision? What is it that you will give your attention to this week? Our attention is like water, like pouring water on the subject of our attention. And whatever we water, we will have more of. So where is it that you will place your attention this week? What is it that you will water this week? Take your next big breath. Take a moment to transport yourself to the end of the next week. When this next week is done and you're standing in the weekend and looking back over the week, what would you have liked to see yourself accomplish when you get to the end of the week? What would your checklist look like? What are things for which you'd like to say, I got this done, I got that done? What are things for which you'd like to say, I got started on this one, I made progress on that one? What does your checklist look like for the end of this week? Take your next big breath. The Dalai Lama gives us this beautiful reminder. He says, moving towards better rather than moving away from bad is an attitude of embracing life rather than rejecting it. Moving towards what is better is one way that we create, but also moving away from what is bad is often our default way of creating. in the last while, the last week, the last couple of weeks, have you been creating from a place of fear or from a place of freedom? Have your actions been motivated by what you're trying to avoid? Or have your actions been motivated by what you're trying to create? Let's take a moment to ask ourselves this question. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask yourself the question, what have I been running away from lately? What have I been trying to avoid lately? Take your next big breath. And of course, there's nothing wrong with avoiding what you don't want. But when that becomes our sole motivator, the dominant motivator for our life force, then we find ourselves creating while looking over our shoulder. We find ourselves never doing any better than just outrunning a problem. And that's exactly what the Dalai Lama means when he says, moving towards better is an attitude of embracing life. Moving away from what is bad puts us in resistance to life. What does creating look like when it's not trying to run away from what you don't want, but turning yourself full face towards what you do want and constantly taking steps towards that? How do you ensure that that is what you do this week? With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, see yourself getting clarity on what you do want. See yourself rise every morning ready to take steps towards what you do want. What steps will you take this week that moves you just a tiny bit closer to what you do want? Take your next big breath. We'll take one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time a few thoughts from the Dalai Lama. The main thought is this one: moving towards better rather than moving away from bad. This is an attitude of embracing life rather than rejecting it. Can we remind ourselves every morning this week that what we choose is to move towards what we want, rather than being focused on always running away from what we don't want? And then he reminds us that we can. As we wake every day, we can decide where to turn our attention. Some of the suggestions he makes is, every day think as you wake up, today I am fortunate to be alive. I have a precious human life and I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use all of my energies to develop myself, to expand my heart out to others. I'm going to have kind thoughts towards others. And he finishes it by this very simple thought: just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. When we create in fear, it means that we are in constant resistance to life, always swimming upstream in life. You can turn this around. You can stop running away from and decide what it is that you're going to run towards. You are a born creator. You yourself were manifested from the abundance that this universe is. Recognize that you have the freedom to use this abundance and create the life that you envision. May your whole week consist of taking steps towards what it is that you do want. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for the privilege of standing at the start of a brand new week. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this moment to be intentional about how I walk into this week ahead. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the reminder that my first thoughts of the morning set the tone for my whole day. I can become intentional about what my first thoughts for the morning are, or at least where I steer my first thoughts of the morning. Take a deep breath in. And also on that note, while we're talking about the first thoughts in the morning, setting up the tone for the day, our last thoughts in the evening set the tone for our life. Because whatever it is that our mind goes to while we're getting ready to fall asleep or waking up and ruminating over, the thoughts we think as our brain falls asleep and does the work of organizing information, those thoughts we take along every day for the rest of our life. So let's also be intentional about our last thoughts of the day. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for slipping into this week along with us. Good morning, Linda. It's awesome seeing you. Welcome to a brand new week. Somebody, thank you. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Linda and Linda. Wishing you all the best week. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.